She didn't choose you. Guys, when you guys get in relationships or you start dating and you like this girl so much, and then she just decides to flake. She doesn't care. She's so cold. She was so hot and now she's cold. She's late with her responses. She's doing all these things and you feel inside, why didn't she choose me? The whole point of dating and understanding the concept of dating is to understand how to date, understand you even more. And I really want to break down this statement. She didn't choose you. Right? The thought in your mind where you weren't enough. You weren't able to hit her standards of who the guy that you thought you were in a relationship, and then 3 weeks later she doesn't want to be with you. And one of the main important things that I really want to tell you guys is so important for you guys to understand is that when you break down the narrative of why didn't she choose me, that thought process of understanding why didn't she choose me? You know, I gave her everything that I wanted. I gave her everything. I bought her the flowers. I gave her the dinner. And this concept of she didn't choose me, I wasn't enough. I want you guys to understand that the entire concept of you being chosen is a facade. We put girls on a pedestal higher than us to believe that we have to be chosen by a girl to really be able to show that we have purpose. We have purpose. I'm going to tell you, look, this is what it looks like. The idea and the concept. One day you're with this girl. You guys are together. And then one day she decides to say, hey, I'm going to leave. I'm going to go. I'm going to take my heart with me. In your mind, you're broken. You're heartbroken about this. You're like sad and you're depressed and you're all these different things because this once was your love. This is what you imagined for her. This is what you wanted out of life. You just wanted to be with her. But this is what the concept of being chosen really hits hard. Is because in her mind, she wants the same thing from another person. And regardless of how it looks, this person is doing the exact same thing. And they're taking their heart. They're going their way looking for this. And that's the revolving dating pool. That's how we look at it. I want you guys to be more confident than ever to understand that this is how it goes. This is what it looks like in the dating scenes. But I want you guys to understand, she didn't choose me. Being chose. What's that statement about? So some of the guys that are on here will not look at the deeper reason on why the concept of being chosen, why I didn't get picked. Some of the people that you're dating, I'm going to go in depth in this. Some of you people have no fathers in your life. You may not have your mother in your life. Right? You may have been bullied. Right? You may have been cheated on. Why? All these personas and these narratives are all things that are kind of deeply rooted in what it looks like to be chosen. Well, my father left. He didn't want me. Or my mother left. She didn't want me. I was bullied. Nobody stood up for me. Nobody chose to help me when I was in need. I got cheated on. She didn't care enough to choose me in the moment and make one decision to say, hey, I care about this person, so I'm not going to do it. Some of you guys get in so much trouble in life trying to figure out, why didn't she choose me? But the deeper root of being chosen is because of these things were never addressed. I really want you guys to really address the problem here. We go so far to look at the girls that we're chasing, the girls that we want to be with, and we're like, oh my gosh, she didn't respond to me. She didn't choose me. Why? This is why a lot of guys have to man up in this moment. In these moments, you have to literally say, you know what? I'm not going to look at the situation as being chosen anymore. Because honestly, the concept of being chosen is a feminine concept. It's not a masculine concept. That's the reality of it. This statement is more feminine than masculine. You are constantly being able to put yourself in this hole. I get it. Your father didn't want you. I get it. Your mother didn't want you. I get it. You were bullied. She cheated. I get it. But the concept of saying these girls aren't choosing me, it does not even deserve a brain cell from a guy to think anymore. I believe that if you are thinking about why didn't she choose me, you have to literally rewire your brain to understand it is her. She is in this predicament. The guy has to choose her. You guys have to look at the situation. At the end of the day, you talk to any guy in the world. They say the most important decision is understanding who your wife is going to be. Because that will make or break your entire life experience. That's why you have to understand this. You have to stand up for the fact that this is the thing that's going to literally bring you to a level that you've never been in. If she decides to cheat, okay, bye. If she decides to leave, okay, bye. If she was hot and y'all was having a great conversation for 3 weeks, okay, bye. If you got her talking for 6 months and she doesn't want to be with you, okay, bye. Be a man that can stand by themselves and say, you know what? I'm the chooser. I'm the chooser. If this is on your 66 girl and she decides to leave, okay, bye. I'm going to choose what I want to choose. And I really want you guys to understand this because, guys, girls do not have to choose us. It a very emotional state of understanding that, hey, this girl didn't choose me. For a guy to really think about it. Think about it. You're waiting for a girl to sit and say, I really like this guy. I choose him. And this is why the importance of love and the idea of love is such a big concept, but such a simple idea. Now, I'll rephrase my last statement. If you are waiting for a girl to choose you, the idea of being in a relationship with that person should not be a concept in your mind. Waiting for somebody to choose you, it never goes anywhere. But here's the idea and the fulfillment about the idea and the posture of love. Love is peace. Love is actively doing something because you love someone. It's not an emotion. It's the fact that you say, I'm going to show up because I love you. It's an action. Not an emotion, it's an action. So guys, when you guys think about love, and you say, hey, it's like almost saying, hey, she was about to bump her head into the wall, and you put your hand out the door so she didn't bump. That's love. It's not saying, baby, please, I love you. It's not none of that. It's never that, right? But I want you guys to literally stick with me here. The biggest thing I really want you guys to understand, regardless of what you take from this, I want you to take this one point. Love equals what? Love is God. Regardless of how you see it, regardless of how you want to see it, at the end of the day, God chose you. That is the only person that will look at your flaws, that will look at your weaknesses, that will look at your strengths, that will look at your tears, that will look at your pain, that will look at the distance, that will look at the silence, and he will constantly choose you. So when you look at it from the perspective of how does God choose me every single day, even when I don't speak to him, even when I don't care to talk to him, even though I do lie to him, even when I do decide to say, hey, I'm not going to be invested as much into me, that's love. For somebody to keep showing up over and over and over, even when you decide not to choose him. That's the perspective that we have to have. So when you go into these relationships, if you can't bring the same love to a relationship, if that person isn't bringing that same love to the relationship, it is not love. It is self-fulfilling. You get me? Being in love with somebody and only wanting that individual to be highly praised in the entire relationship. If you're talking to the girl and the girl is saying, hey, I want you to worship the ground that I walk, that is not love. That is self-fulfilling. If a girl is saying, hey, you need to do this more. Why aren't you doing this? You're doing that. You're always saying this. You're doing that. That is self-fulfilling. If a girl goes out and she says, hey, I want to go out. I want to dress how I want to dress. I shouldn't care what you say. I shouldn't care what you think. It is self-fulfilling love. That is what is being sought after. When you guys look at love, you see that love is the emotion that is literally being brought into life every single day. But it is up to you to figure out what you want to choose. I get it. She didn't choose you. But if you can operate in the same stance of how God operates in love, regardless, at the end of the day, you can now vet the partner that you're with, because is her love self-serving, or is she just going to keep serving? Is she going to serve others, regardless of how that sounds, right? And that's what it comes down to. So get rid of the idea, get rid of the statement of saying she didn't choose me. Get rid of all that. Just be prepared to understand that, hey, if I can look at this situation and she doesn't have these qualities that I'm looking for, then this doesn't matter. She doesn't need to choose me. Bye. Goodbye. Kick rocks. Don't need you. Don't want you. Throw away the statement of she didn't choose me. She didn't choose me. Because love isn't constantly saying, hey, I'm choosing you. I'm choosing. Love is patient. It's kind. And understanding. And as long as you can operate in that same resonance, you can propel as far as you want, and you can get whoever you want due to the fact of your character being so high and understanding this is what I'm willing to give. So believe it or not, class is closed.